Hi, and welcome to this short presentation about personal brand of a developer. My name is Krzysztof Kempiński. I come from Poland. I'm in IT for over 15 years now. If I would need to describe myself in 2 words, I would definitely say that I'm a programmer and a podcaster. In my career, I'm mostly connected with backend development of web applications, but also I was a tech lead, I was a CTO, and I was trying to, try different roles in IT. But about 4 years ago, I decided to do something with my personal brand. And I started, recording my podcast. It's in Polish, it's called Porozmawiajmy IT, so it will be Let's Talk About IT in English. After gathering some experience in IT, I decided to share my knowledge, to share my experience, and also invite people smarter than me to also learn something new from them. And when I started doing it, I figured out that a personal brand is something that is totally new to almost majority of people working in IT. And I decided to do something with it because I really noticed that being a recognizable brand in IT gives you a lot of possibilities. So it could be a great way to develop your career. And that presentation is exactly about that, is about what actually personal brand in IT means and how to start working on it. I will give you some tips, something that I noticed that I encounter in my way to build my own personal brand. I hope it will be helpful for you. So first, I would like to start with a question actually. Do you build your personal brand at the moment? I can imagine that some of you are convinced that building a personal, recognizable personal brand is a good way, and actually that you already do this, and that's cool. I'm almost sure that a lot of you actually don't know what it is and don't do anything to build your own personal brand. That's also fine. I hope that after watching my presentation, you will at least consider doing something in this area. And maybe some of you actually are not sure. Maybe some of you have a blog, maybe post something on social media, and you are not sure if that's already building a personal brand or maybe not. So I also hope that for you, after that presentation, you will have a clear vision what actually personal brand is and how to use it, how to also build it if you are a programmer. Actually, some time ago, I asked people on my social media channels, people mostly from IT, if they know what personal brand is. And actually, I have to say that they weren't sure what it is. In comments, I was able to find comments that maybe it's connected with being connected with celebrity, with maybe somebody who is famous, maybe a CEO of a big company. Okay, maybe these people somehow are visible, maybe these people have some personal brand, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Maybe it's being famous. Maybe it's being visible in social media, in traditional media, but exactly it's very hard to say what personal brand is. And to be honest, I wasn't very shocked with the outcome of that survey, of that question on social media, because I know that a personal brand in IT is maybe not like the most important thing that you would consider thinking about your career. There's a very famous quote from Jeff Bezos saying that your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. This is very, very smart definition of personal brand, I would say. And please notice that we have like two groups of people, let's say, here. So first, there is obviously you, somebody that is a brand, personal brand, but to even, talk about or think about a brand, there is a need to have somebody that will recognize you, that will connect you with something, with some values, with some memories, with some impressions. You have to know that building personal brand is really, really connected with others. And maybe you can say that, all right, in IT we have a lot of people that are introverts and they don't necessarily would like to communicate, connect with others, talk to others, etc. But to even think about your personal brand, you really need to do something that people will recognize or actually connect somehow with your expertise. That definition is very, very short, but to be honest, I like that definition a little more. So personal brand is actually a set of impressions, associations, emotions, feelings, opinions, and values that others somehow connect with you. So a lot of different things. Some are very hard, like for example impressions or associations, probably something that you would connect with your expertise in IT, and some very soft, like emotions, feelings, or opinions about you. But all of this actually is your brand. And because of that, I like to think about personal brand as something that, or somebody that you actually are, not something that you have. And to me, that's a very important distinction here. Personal brand is more like who you actually are. Except of definition of personal brand, we usually talk and think about building a personal brand. So to do it, you have to communicate something. So you have to most probably use some media message. You have to use some visuals. That could be your photo, your logo, something like that. And the most important thing, most probably, is the consistency. So even if you, if you are a speaker on a great global conference, that one occurrence of it won't build your personal brand, right? You have to be consistent. You have to, for example, post on social media regularly to build that associations, to build that opinions and values about you in hearts and minds of others. Okay, so we have a definition, but you could think what a programmer needs a personal brand for. We have a job market that actually it's very, I would say, easy at the moment for programmers. It's really easy to find a new job. So what for I would even consider a personal brand in IT? Well, you have to know that, okay, maybe we have a lot of job offers, but not of them are equal. Not of them are the same level, the same, doesn't give you the same possibilities. So these best offers, these top-notch offers are reserved, I would say, for people with a recognizable personal brand. Next thing. Rise. So consider two programmers with almost the same skills, but one of them is, somehow recognizable, is, for example, involved in, open source, is involved in some kind of presentations on conferences or meetups, maybe has his own, for example, YouTube channel. So considering these two people, you could easily define that the second one with recognizable personal brand has higher chance to get rise because that person gives more value to the company. Next thing is increasing the impact. So if you have some few years of experience, they would like to have more impact on your team, on your product, on your company, on your community. And to do this, you have to be somebody that is recognizable, that has a personal brand, no matter if this is the scope of your small team or this is a community of your language, like globally. Still, you need to be someone. You have to be recognizable personal brand. Next thing, usually I'm involved in hiring, and to me, somebody that does something like, for example, I don't know, has a blog, being a speaker or something like that, somebody with a personal brand, to me, that person receives more points, let's say, because to me, doing this is great proof of hard and soft skills. Hard because I know that, for example, preparing a blog post usually means that you have to really do your research. You really need to rethink what you want to present. And soft skills because being or creating personal brand is also about soft skills, about saying somebody about you. So that thing to me is a really great proof of your skills. Next thing is being recognizable, having some authority, and again, it could be scope of your company, of your project, or maybe great big community. Really doesn't matter. Still, personal brand matters there. Something that is a little bit like a trend globally, that people from IT started, for example, creating their own online courses, books, webinars, or things like that as a let's say source of income, and it's very recognizable thing in marketing that you will sell more only if you have a community around you, right? And community actually recognize your personal brand. So if you want to earn more on your knowledge, on your experience, personal brand is a very good way to do it, basically. Also in IT, as a programmer, you probably work as a freelancer on B2B contracts or something like that. So for your potential clients, if you could be like a somebody that is first person that comes in mind when you think about some, I don't know, aspect of technology or expertise. That's a great thing to actually, not look for next projects, but rather be the one who is first person that then the projects will be sent to. So also for this, having or being a personal brand is a good way to go. But where to start? Usually, how I see it is people start with their own blog. Okay, that's fine, but that's not the first step to do. The first step requires you sitting with pen and piece of paper and actually think about a couple of questions. Actually, your why. Why do you want to do it? Is it because you want to earn more, because you want to be more recognizable, because you want to get rise, because you want to be a speaker or something like that? No matter what, still you have to think about your why. If you have it, then you should think about who should know about you. Personal brand is not something that is synonymous for famous. Personal brand is being recognizable by a group of people, and you have to define that group of people. If you have it, you have to think about what to communicate to that group of people. For example, it could be a community of JavaScript developers in your town, right? This is a group of people, and then you have to think what to communicate to them. Maybe you want to be an expert in some frameworks or something like that. No matter what, you have to think what to communicate. And to help you with that, I can tell you about a SWOT analysis. So in this analysis, you actually think about your strong, let's say, points, your weak points, the opportunities that you see here. So see on the market. For example, there is nobody, in your community posting about, React, for example, right? Or about Angular. No matter what, this is a still opportunity for you. And about threads. So for example, maybe from the other hand, there is a lot of people already having YouTube channels about the topic that you would like to talk about. So by writing this down and thinking about it, you can easily identify these ways or these opportunities that are connected with your strong points. And maybe there are some weak points. So for example, you have to be, you have to learn public speaking or something like that. This is still a very valuable information. Also think about your competition. But not to copy them, but rather to get inspired, to be inspired by them, and to rather know where is the level on the market that you would like to also conquer. And first of all, you have to accept yourself, because if you copy somebody, then you can be at least that good as them, but you won't be better than them. So you have to be somebody recognizable, and the best way to do it is just accept who you are. Creating someone that you are not is a very short-term strategy. It's very hard to do it for the long time, and because usually we start with posting in social media, having a good picture is really something that you should think about before you start it. Don't imitate others, rather be yourself, and really think about why others would listen to you. What is your value, your uniqueness that you would like to present to them? Where is it? And after answering all of these questions, you can think how to do it. And there are a couple of tactics or a couple of ways, a couple of media channels that you can start with. It can be as easy as GitHub and open source, because this is your portfolio. It's not a garbage can. So just clean this up, pin your best repos, be active and commit regularly, and let others, let visitors know how to contact with you. That builds your portfolio, but that also builds your personal brand. And by being involved in open source, you can participate in any of the open source project. You can help others. You can comment in GitHub issues. This builds your personal brand within group of people working on this open source. This is a very good starting point. And still, you don't need to be visible in social media or something like that. You will work with the code base, so something that is probably already familiar for you. That could be a good starting point. The most popular method probably is to have your own blog. This is probably a very good way to start for all of you, basically. But really think what to share and how frequently, because in my opinion, it's better to do it regularly. But rather than, for example, create 10 blog posts and then forget about your blog for a year or something. So do it regularly and really think about topics that you would like to present. Think about your language. If if you would like to start doing it in English, that could be a good way to go to the global market. But from the other hand, there's a lot of people probably doing the same. So think about the language. It really matters where the group of people that you would like to reach out is. But don't forget about promotion of your content. Don't hesitate to post this on your social media. Use groups, use Slack groups, Discord groups, forum, other a lot of newsletters that gather some information or stuff like that. Just promote your content. If you will see after some time that you have more visitors and more views of your YouTube channel, and etc., you will be motivated actually to continue that path. And most probably, if you already have a couple of years of experience, you have an imposter syndrome. This is very common thing. So all of this knowledge that you have is really something that you think others know, and this is something very obvious for you, but not for others. So for example, writing or talking about simple things is still very important for the newcomers, for the people who start. Next channel is definitely LinkedIn. This is your place in internet where you can gather a lot of your activities and experience, and it's really worth doing it. So fill in your profile, ask for recommendations, because recommendation is a very like a social proof of your skills, and that greatly build your personal brand. Pin your materials, like for example blog posts or videos or podcasts. Post your own content, but also be active in comments in others, in other profiles. That builds your recognition. And last but not least, networking. In the beginning, I said that building personal brand actually means communicating with others. So you have to have others in your network, and LinkedIn is a great way to do it. Then a bunch of different social media channels, probably Twitter, Facebook groups, Instagram, or even Instagram stories is a great starting point. Be active in comments, not only post something, but also think about this maybe slightly niche channels, only if actually you can find the group of people that you would like to communicate to there. So it can be TikTok, it can be Clubhouse or Reddit. No matter what the channel is, the most important thing is if there is a group of people that you would like to communicate something. You can even be a speaker, but start slowly, maybe even within your company, then slightly progress to local meetups, and after that you can think about conferences. So being a speaker on a conference usually means that you already have your personal brand, so you have to do it slowly. You can prepare articles, books. You can, post your articles in papers. For example, in Poland, you have magazine Programista, great newspaper where you can actually send your article and be visible in a physical newspaper. Or for example, blogs that aggregate content. You don't have to write your own, like physical book in paper. You can think about short ebook. Still, all of it is a great way to build your personal brand. For some of you, YouTube or podcast is a great way to go. For example, even preparing your vlogs or screencasts where you don't have to present your face. You can even show your IDE or where place or your monitor, so your screen. Still, all of it is a great way if that is something that your community or people that you would like to help will consider as a valuable thing. So no matter which channel you will choose, by sharing your knowledge, you show your expertise. You have to do it obviously regularly, but not all channels at once. Think about the most important for you, where the group of people that you would like to communicate something to is, and start with that, and only after that conquer other channels. So regardless of the method, the most important thing is consequence, really, because building a brand is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not something that you will build like in days or weeks, sometimes even not in months. Usually it takes, I would say, years to do it, because you have to work and create this vision of you in hearts and minds of others. So the most important mistakes that I see in building personal brand in IT is lack of authenticity. So basically that means copying of others. Then lack of defining of a group of people that should know about you. Then it's very hard to communicate to somebody that you don't know who they are. Weak communication, so lack of regularity in posting. For example, I see there is some inspiration, maybe even a conference. People, somebody prepare like 3 or 4 blog posts, and after that nothing. So weak communication. Then copying of others, and that people forget that building a brand is a marathon, not a sprint. And for example, somebody decides to create an online course, and somebody heard that the personal brand can help in selling it, and in 1 month or 2 decide to build a personal brand. It won't work like that. So I have a couple of people as an inspiration, because usually I observe a Polish market. These people are from Poland, but you can check their social media to, for example, see how they communicate, how they build their personal brand, and it's a group of people that probably you recognize. So just to mention a few of them: Maciej Nicerowicz, Aleksandra Kunysz, Andrzej Krzywda, Hello Roman, Mariusz Gil, Overment, Przemysław Bykowski, and group and other people that you can find in social media. There's definitely a lot, many more, definitely, but still worth following these people and see how they communicate in social media, for example. And also something for people from Poland, I decided actually to create a book, to write a book about personal brand of a developer. And by going to this web page, you can subscribe to a newsletter where I send a progress of that book, and also some additional materials. So you can go and subscribe there. And that's all, actually. That was a very short presentation about personal brand, but I hope that gave you some inspiration, and also some clear vision, actually, what personal brand is, maybe how to start working on your own personal brand. So fingers crossed. Thank you very much. Please reach out to me. You have my Twitter handle or my webpage there. If you have any questions, then don't hesitate to write to me. Thanks. Have a good day.